Welcome back, everybody. So glad you could be with me here today. Walter at the workbench. If you recall, I said I was going to tell you a surprise. Well, actually, it's more of a fact that I should have known better and I should have said something earlier. Well, it came to me when I looked at my little wooden smoothing plane that I made out of a block plane blade. Very simple, nothing special to it. And I got to thinking, can I plane this piece of cherry that we used for all of the 4.5? Can I plane it with this? So I set it up for a super fine cut. I gave it a try. The answer is yes. I can plane it with this. And it would take about the same quality cut as the other planes. However, when you got into the cranky sections, the tear out was worse. So that got me to thinking. In fact, I just caused a little bit of tear out right there. So that got me to thinking back in my way back time machine about this blade. You remember this blade? I put this blade in this plane and I got no tear out. Do you remember why? Yeah, that's right. I put a back bevel on it. I first tried 5 degrees and then I tried 10 degrees. I had better results with the 10 degrees. What does the 10 degrees do for us? It changes the effective cutting angle from 45 to 55. What is a cutting angle of 55, everybody? York pitch. You've got 45, then you've got 50, and you got 55, and you got 60. Standard pitch, I forget the name of the 50. You have regular pitch, you've got common pitch, you've got York pitch, and you've got cabinet pitch, which is 60. I can look up the rest and put them in the comment section or in the description box. So that means I can do the same thing with any of the plane blades from any of the 4.5 planes. And this cranky piece of cherry, this is not the best piece of cherry to test thousands of dollars worth of planes on. I mean, I've got a section in here that is a pin knot that goes from the heartwood out to the sapwood. It's all quarter sawn through here. It's all quarter sawn grain. I got mineral pockets. I've got this section here that tears out. I've got a section here that tears out. I've got another pin knot over here, and we've got some gnarly section back over here. So I could have picked a more clear piece of wood, but I did want something real life. So what I did is I went over in my little toolkit. of blades and chip breakers, and I found a 2-inch set that I had set up with a back bevel, and I re-honed it with a 10-degree back bevel. So the 2 things you want to make sure you do if you're going to do this: you set your plane up to take the finest shaving you can. Okay, that's a little fine, but you want the finest shaving for 2 reasons. One, you don't want to cause any tear out. And number 2, once you put a back bevel on, it gets harder to push. It's more fatiguing. All right? See, we're taking wispy shavings. You can probably go just a little bit more. So, make sure you give yourself some registration marks so you know where you have traveled. And you work your board. Okay? It's not quite a scraper plane, but you're starting to get closer to a scraping action. And this was something that I should have known and mentioned as an option in the video series. But I'm coming to you with it now. This area up here is tear out free. We've got these 2 spots here I'm going to try to get to. Now, if I were doing my workbench or a very large surface, I might actually even do the back bevel on the blade set for the number 6 or the number 7 if I'm getting tear out. Now the other surprise, and I don't know if you've experienced this, but I was having some concerns when I was planing with the Lie-Nielsen and the Clifton on that piece of beech. That was bothering me. Why was that tearing out? Especially when I was skewing the plane. Isn't that supposed to help slice through? That's what we were taught. Well, my friends, I think I figured out what was happening. Off camera, I was trying to figure out why, when I skewed the plane, I was getting that tear out. So all the videotaping was done And I was just trying to learn on my own, off camera. And what I found after resharpening, resetting, checking the planes over, I didn't get tear out when I was going square to that surface. But when I skewed it, I started getting tear out. So, one of the viewers made a comment that he was expecting something like that to happen at some point. Because as you plane down through the surface of a piece of wood, the wood itself changes. And if let's say a 1/4 inch down, there's a real gnarly section, but the wood had remodeled over top of it. It was planing nice for a while, but then as you start getting down into it, you find your tear out. And skewing was actually lifting fibers and causing tear out. Believe it or not. I'm just trying to get rid of these registration marks and these 2 tear out sections. So, those are some of the unusual things that I discovered and thought you might like to know. Not really a surprise, but yes, it is a surprise. Almost there. Almost there. If you've got any questions or comments or suggestions as to what we're going to do next, let me know. I have some ideas. The other thing too, and I can't measure it, but putting all those blades through all that cutting, I don't know what the wear factor was. Which ones were still sharp, which ones were starting to dull. I do know that the Clifton is cryogenically treated 01, and when I took it apart, I personally thought it was slightly dull. One little tiny speck there yet. I'll get that later off camera. Because we still have to come up with a measurement as to how much wood did I take off this cherry board. Right there. There's one little tiny, I'm going to call it a pock mark. And that just could be the wood itself. That's about it, everybody. I appreciate you stopping by. It means a lot to me. Like, subscribe, and share, and head out to your shop. We'll make some shavings. Walter out.